Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who never met me, my name is Alan and I am a kidney dialysis patient. And today we're going to go through the process of making a sac. So I'm going to go show you the entire process of how I make a dialysate sac using my PureFlow machine, which is the bottom portion of my dialysis cycler. So we're gonna go through that very quick, very easy. So stick with me. Today is Sunday, August 10th, 2025. Saturdays and Sundays are usually my days off from dialysis. So I actually have a family event that I'm going to today. So I'm not going to make the sac right now per se, but when I do come back, we're going to get into that after I come back from my event and show you how I make a dialysate sac using the PureFlow of the Nxstage system. Okay. I'm also going to take you on and show you what I do on my days off. You know, it's Sunday, family functions, family day for me. So let's go and let's have some fun today. And hope you're enjoying my channel. All right, thanks. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Please, everyone, subscribe to my channel. Okay, welcome back to another video. Okay, I am here in Canarsie Park, Brooklyn. I have a family picnic that's happening here in Canarsie Park in Brooklyn. So here's my family. You can see them. We have a family picnic that's happening here. As you can see, the big VNC flag is always flying for my family. Family picnic. I'm here in Canarsie Park, Brooklyn. All right, I'll check back with you guys later. All right, welcome back. We're here at the family picnic. So we got the barbecue grill going. There's mommy getting her food. And my cousins. That's how I feel. Welcome back. So when I left off earlier, I was on my way to a family function. Between me leaving and coming back now, it's about 6 hours have passed, and I'm going to show you the process of how I make a dialysis sac using the PureFlow system. So on my dialysis machine. So first, I have to wash my hands and sanitize and put my gloves on. And now I'm going to get my sac. My sac is the pre-made sac that's shipped by Nxstage, which is my prescription. It calls for a specific sac number because that's what the machine makes using the natural water that flows in from my faucet into the machine, into the filter in the PureFlow system. So I'm going to take out my sac. So this is a sac. It has my specific sac. Mine is sac 406. It makes about 50 liters. 50 liters for me is one treatment. Some people have different sacs 306, 301. Sometimes there's a 60 liter. Sometimes they can get 2 treatments from just one sac. Whereas for my prescription, I can only get 1 treatment from this particular sac, which is sac 406, because my sac calls my prescription calls for 50 liters of dialysate to be used in my prescription for dialysis. So I'm going to make this sac in the PureFlow system. So these are the sacs that come. They come 2 in a box from Nxstage, and you have to get them ordered every month. You got to either call the company, or what you do, you put in your inventory to the company to tell them how much you have on hand, and then they'll ship the appropriate number that you need for the next month. Okay? So let's go ahead and make a sack. First, I gotta turn on the pure flow. The on switch is in the back of the machine. Okay, once the machine is turned on, it'll start up and it'll say no batch, press go to start. So I would open the door of the machine, and then I would open the bin and press go to start. It will say open door, load sack, which is my sack, and it will have my particular sack number to load. So we're going to open this sack up. You have to be careful when opening the sack. You don't want it to get unfolded. So when you open the sack, it should be like this with the label facing up. And you're going to place the sack inside the bin or the drawer or the tub, whichever you want to call it. And push it all the way up to the top. Okay? And then you're going to unfold the sack inside the bin. When you unfold the sack inside the bin, it's going to have like some styrofoam stuff, and then you're going to see a bunch of connections. You're going to have your green connections. You're going to have your yellow line. So now it's time to, and you're going to have some tabs that you're going to have to pull off. So you're going to start by pulling off these tabs. Okay. And what I tend to do is I tend to take this part of the sack and put it between the handle of the cycler. Okay. Then there's going to be two green tabs that are down here, which you're going to have to push down so the lines become untangled. So you push down on these two green and sometimes I like to pull them off the tabs so I know that the lines are straight and they're pushed down all the way. Okay? Now All right. You always have to remember the big part of the sac of the lines, the big hose or the big tubing part is always to the right. Why? Because this part of the tubing goes into the pump of the pure flow system. So now I have to open the sac door, which is this door. You also have to open the pump, and then everything will line up inside the door where you push them in, the lines and the tubing into the system. And this part will go under and over into the pump, the big part of the tubing. I just like to pull it a little, so I make sure that it's nice and secure and closed down. All right. The other parts of the tubing, the blue clamps and the yellow clamps, they will flow straight down. All right. This part here also goes into the other line, also attaches inside and fits snugly in to a secure spot inside the sac door. So everything is lined up. The tubing is straight down. The yellow line, the blue line. Once that is in, I just secure and close the sac door. All right. Once you close the door, it will click and automatically say connect lines. All right. Sac is loaded. So I like to start with my blue lines. All right. I will take out this tab and make sure that the connection is tight and secure. All right. And I would go for my old blue line that's connected to my pack and remove that old connection. And then I would flip the tab of the new blue line and secure it into the blue line. Alright? And then I would open the line, open the blue line. I would make sure that all the clamps of the blue line are open. Then I would take my orange line and secure it to my orange line. Screw that in here to the orange line. Make sure the tabs are open. All right. Once all the lines are secured, I would then proceed on opening up just the sac inside the bin. Open up the sac, spread it open. Then I would push the bin closed and press green to go. the machine will start going through some testing processes just to make sure that water is flowing, and it'll do a couple tests before it starts making a batch. The end result is you want to see on the pure flow system, on the system itself, it says making a batch. Still going through its testing phase. So the machine is now going through its testing phase. It's putting water in, out. It's doing some load tests. It's going to do a CSC test shortly. Then it should start making a batch. So it usually takes about 6 hours to make a batch. Still says CSC test. CSC test usually takes a minute or two before it goes into making a batch. So now it is making a batch. So everything is successful. Just do a little cleanup. And we're good to go. There you have the entire process of making a batch. All right? So that is how I make a batch of dialysate. for my pure system. I'm just going to close the door, and I'm just going to let the batch make and let that settle. All right, so thank you, and that's it. I'll see you next time in another video. So please make sure you comment, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. All right, it's Alan Straker TV. All right, we're going to talk about travel, we're going to talk about dialysis, we're going to talk about, a lot of people have questions about this machine. They've probably never seen one before. They knew about in-center dialysis, but they don't know that there is also home hemodialysis where people can do it at home. So this is the Nxstage system, and we're going to talk about it more in depth when I get to different areas of setting up the machine, so you can actually see how I actually set up and how I actually go through the whole process of dialysis. So stay tuned for my next video. Again, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe.